Hi everyone, Karla here with episode 7 of Cacao with Karla. I'm here coming to you live on Facebook or recording on YouTube afterwards, talking every week about topics that will help you open up and connect to your deep, juicy, orgasmic bliss. So I'm changing my opening a little bit because I used to be specifically focused on shadow work or shadow integration, but really I'm moving away from the shadow part because that can become its own obsession and just digging trenches constantly, like, what's the next fucked up thing about myself I have to fix? What's the next thing I have to do? What's the next course? What's the next workshop? And all of this stuff. And so I've been on my shadow healing integration journey for about 5 years now. And so at this point, I'm here to not only just talk about, working with your shadow, but you not having to do it for 5 years like I did so that you can get the shortcut and get to the good stuff faster. So when I mean good stuff, I mean becoming orgasmic. I mean that not just like the, oh my gosh, I'm gonna come kind of feeling of orgasmic, but really being able to interpret every stimulus in your life as pleasurable, or even in this non-dualistic kind of mindset where there is not this kind of good or bad associated with everything, but it's just an experience. And rather than trying to fight it or overly surrendering to things, you really just get to enjoy your human experience. And when you do that, it unlocks some really nice, juicy orgasmicness. So at first when I opened this channel, I was like, I'm going to talk about shadow work and it's going to be awesome. But really, it's like, let's talk about the things that happen after. So what happens after and how do you get to the good stuff? And so, of course, I will start this by saying that self-development, spiritual, expanded consciousness, whatever you call your particular path that you're on. Of course, as long as you're still breathing, there's more things to learn. So this is not something that I'm sharing as an end-all, be-all, like you'll never have problems ever again. However, even when I have my so-called problems now, I have gotten to the point where I'm able to feel and experience it as being turned on in my body. I tune in and notice like, oh my gosh, like my heart's racing, my pits are getting a little bit sweaty. And I just look at the cues and then remember that those cues that I'm feeling when I'm angry also are the same cues that happen in my body when I'm aroused. So taking the value judgment off of things, taking the like, this shouldn't be happening to me off of things really helps a lot. So going back to shadow work and shadow integration, for those of you who are newer to this concept, shadow work very quickly is making the unconscious parts of yourself that you've repressed conscious and showing them love, showing them compassion, integrating those parts within yourself so that you're not walking around all fragmented and stressed out trying to effort a bunch and get really little progress because you're only working with part of your personal power. Shadow work for me is literally an excavation of personal power. That is like the very straightforward thing. So once you get on the other side of that, which for me involved lots of cacao, lots of that good, nice, unpasteurized hot chocolate, because it made doing all of that really scary work a lot easier and a lot more approachable. I found this space of feeling, I don't want to describe it, like, instead of like going heady, like I actually just want to call out some experiences that I'm having in my body right now. So I have a little bit of tightness here, but it also feels kind of like someone's trying to cram more brains into my skull. It's not like in a painful way. I feel this opening in my chest. There's also this awareness on my lower back and my throat that feels like kind of lit up, and it feels kind of green and a little bit of orange on the edges. Excuse me. And yeah, it feels like just letting go and relaxing. And I feel like really of all of the things that I could be sharing right now that might be a little bit more left-brained, what I really want to share is of all of the things I've done, of all of the, yes, hips too, like my hips kind of get, like the sits bones at the bottom of my hips also, Jennifer, getting like kind of like rooted down and also like a little bit hot as well. And I feel, I just feel called to share that shadow work and cacao and this kind of deep healing integration practice that I've been doing with myself and with my clients and people who come to my cacao ceremonies, which I have another one coming up soon, the day before Valentine's Day. It's just this deep state of relaxation and being relaxed but also present, able to move and react in any kind of way that you need to respond to things, not from a place of reaction, but from a place of response. And also to kind of throw in some things that I've been learning. I'm currently taking a yoga teacher training right now. And today we were talking about self-regulation versus self-control. So I feel like a lot of healing modalities are more so self-control, where you're trying to force or will yourself not to do something, or trying to force your demons to like act the way that you want them to and to force them in line and to like maybe even splinter off from parts of yourself. And self-regulation, which often gets confused with self-control, is more so about knowing that, you know, sometimes you're going to get angry and sometimes you're going to feel great and sometimes you're going to feel all sorts of different ways, but having that awareness and coming back to yourself, coming back to your bodily awareness. And I feel like there's another part that I want to like just like cherry on top I want to add on that. What is it? Self-regulation. Yeah, also appropriate responses to stressors in your life. So I don't know about you, but if you've ever had a really exaggerated response to something that was really tiny and just, you know, someone looked at you the wrong way, or maybe you just got cut off in traffic, or you got an email that you didn't read all the way through and you were scanning and you thought that it said one thing, the person was saying something else. I don't know, I just like feel like this like self-regulation concept, I'm going to be talking about that more, exploring that more in my own work with myself and also with clients, because that kind of frame of reference of, instead of the goal, you know, the goal being like, oh, I am zen and I am calm all the time, so I'm so spiritual and I'm healed because I never get angry. It's like, no, like your anger has a place. Like sometimes you need to defend yourself. Sometimes you need to run away. Like sometimes you need to like really be like, you know, on. So I feel like that's one of the things about like the spiritual kind of new agey community that I was always kind of like, okay, well, if I'm striving to just be calm and passive all the time, like how do I actually life, you know, like reality. So that's where I find that shadow integration, and then like moving through that process and moving into becoming more fully aware of all of your parts, integrating all of those parts, drinking your hot chocolate, and just kind of cultivating that sense of self-regulation, self-awareness, body awareness, being connected all online, so body, mind, and spirit, and not just living in one or the other or over here. So that's why I like cacao, because it brings all the stuff that's happening in my mental and spiritual level, and it brings it down into my body and helps me feel really great in my body and fucking relaxed and present and in this state of creative flow that has literally led me from anxiety attacks and being in dead-end jobs that I fucking hated for a long time in my life, to being on this journey of being a plant medicine facilitator and, you know, generally being okay even at the craziest time in world history. Like there's never been a time that has affected the whole world all at once in recent history, like, you know, our past 7 generations and whatnot. So I just find all of that interesting. So I want to share that with more people. So if you are interested and you are a woman out there in the audience and you are available that Saturday, the day before Valentine's Day, I have a link in there. We can schedule a quick call and chat about the specifics of the ceremony that I have coming up. So this is going to be really digging into not just like that kind of like self-love of like, oh, I love myself and I did my affirmations today, but like really taking it like a step deeper, safely getting into like some of the darker, more sensitive areas and topics specifically for you. Yes, this is an online ceremony, and yes, the ceremony itself is 3 parts, but like the actual day of the ceremony is a group experience, but you won't be seen or heard because you'll be muted and you'll have your video off. But trust me when I say like the shares and like the synchronicities and the ways that things line up and the things that come out of, that get channeled through and come out of my mouth during the tarot card reading at the end is just magical and amazing all the time. And then 2 weeks after that ceremony, you do have a one-on-one call included in your ceremony package. Because one thing, and this will be the last thing, I promise, but let me get on my soapbox for a quick second. When I started even just like really getting into plant medicine for myself and like looking at the way that plant medicine culture functions, at least in the States, I can't speak for other places, I noticed there wasn't quite as much emphasis on integration. It felt like more of like a tourist attraction where like there's this huge peak experience and maybe there's some photos that someone took at some point when you weren't looking, and then it's over. And I kept like experiencing this both like in the plant medicine community and like, and personal development things with like, there's a big seminar or a workshop or retreat. And it's, it's this big peak experience, but then not a lot of support on the back end so that you can make sense and like kind of digest the experiences and the really deep, heavy shit that comes up. Even with cacao, I mean, I like working with cacao because it's very gentle, but it really does go deep. Like I've had lots of people recover repressed memories, but like in a loving, non-retriggering way. I've had people connect with ancestors multiple times. I've had all these really deep things happen. So for me, I really value integration. I don't want to just like wow people and then like run off to the side. Like I want to create that safe space and be a safe presence to actually process and integrate these things, which is why with my one-on-one, the private integration call you get when you participate in a ceremony, you can only book it up to 2 weeks. I mean, the soonest you can book it is 2 weeks out, because I really want you to see and weave and notice like how the spirit of the cacao, how the physicality of the cacao, how that serotonin boost, that happiness literally, running through your body and helping your brain and your gut produce serotonin, helping you sleep better, helping you connect with your intuition and your higher power, all these things. Taking the things out here and bringing them in the body and literally becoming orgasmic and non-dual, and being able to like expand your awareness out from like your so-called like things and like just like all of the things that have just like and the things that like cause that stress in your body to respond in a way where like you're kind of like rolling down and rolling out your back. Like Cacao is considered like a heart opener for a reason. It really helps you scientifically and spiritually on all of the levels to open up and to receive your own love, to receive support that you may not have seen from over here because your belief structures are like, no, those kind of people never help me, so I'm gonna look in this direction even though there's someone right here like wanting to help. It's just all the things. All the things. So yes, I am here for support. I want to support you. I want to help you feel better in your body. I want to help you bring all of your intuitive, special empath gifts online. I think we're all magical. I think we all are empaths. So really starting to undo this conditioning that a lot of us have grown up in especially in the like modern world, I want to marry like the best of everything that I have to offer to support you on a really just like juicy level. It's like trying to choose my words. So yeah, I feel like that's like my heart transmission with all of that. And again, I do have the next ceremony coming up on February 13th. That's the Saturday, day before Valentine's Day. So if you want your pound of unpasteurized, high quality, low caffeine, high serotonin producing cacao, click the link in the chat box or in the comment section, and we'll hop on a call together and discuss some more. So I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful evening. Drink plenty of water and stay beautiful. Peace.